Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show today. Think big and be inspired. Please tell us where are you tuning in from. And today we have, as we said, a very special guest. We have with us Jit Hinchman, of course, with a great experience in years in supply chain, and she started in engineering, and she's doing really fine and as a consultant in supply chain. Let's welcome Jit Hinchman. Jit, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in and really excited for today's show and happy to have you today. Jit, if we start right away with your journey, I know you started in engineering, then you moved to supply chain. How did this come to you, and were you planning to be in supply chain? Because as we know, before years ago, it was not like supply chain was not for ladies and all this things, and now times has changed. Take us through this journey.
Absolutely. So, no, I didn't at all to be on the supply chain. I plan to be engineer. I study
Yeah.
engineer and was inspired by my dad and my brother. Growing up, helping my dad and brother, taking the engine apart, car engine apart, clean it
Yeah.
up, put it together. That's pretty much my life. So,
Oh,
what I know is just I'm gonna be engineer. I fun. It's fun for me.
yeah.
And then I went when I went to from the university, and then I start to work in Mattel. That is when I first experienced in supply chain management. And I just with it. It got the right mix. It had the mix
Yeah.
between the engineer and also the business. So
Yes.
if you can say it's like business engineer, it's pretty much
Yes.
that had so much fun learning and implementing it with the team, and we saw the result. And after that, when I went to get on the other role, there was no supply chain role back then. There's none. Mattel was just introduced the concept to help the factories to be in line with the corporate in America. So help the workers to know that everything you do have cost in it, and it also have speed, have time. How can you reduce cost, improve efficiency, those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I get started, and I just fall in love with it. And when I decided to go to my master degree. So I think this is it. This is something that I love. So I went to Florida Tech to get the master in supply chain, and here we are today.
Great. Great, Jit, of course, that you moved and to know that your family is engineers. And here also in our culture, it's either your family, my family is engineers or doctors. So this kind of thing for us was new supply chain, and then I have to explain every time to every member of my family what is supply chain and what we do. And so good to know that you struggle had the same struggle, but it's amazing, of course, and. To tell everybody, I know Mattel is Barbie, right? Right? They make Barbie, the Barbie, yes.
Right,
So that
right.
everybody's familiar with Mattel. It's really a big company, and I'm sure this helped you a lot and shaped your career starting with this big company.
Right. So Mattel that I work for was car. So Hot Wheels car, the car, the little car, the toy car.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
the one. So there was no Barbie. I believe Barbie they produce it in China, I believe. Yeah.
yeah. Great journey, Jit. So if we go to after years, also you went to be an author and started writing a book in supply chain. How did this idea come to you? And did you think before that you're going to become an author and have a book and like distribute a book and have a book under your name?
No, I actually never never thought of that. But when I joined LinkedIn, so my professor introduced me to LinkedIn when I was in
Yeah,
school, and they were the first connection to me. And they were like the
yeah,
first one, the second one. So I asked them, Why do I need to be there?" And they said, "You need to be in there because it's very good opportunity for you there and learn with other people as well. So the rest is history." So I
Yeah,
start to share my posts. I start to share my articles, and people seem to enjoy the insight that I share, and they start to ask
great.
questions, and some people want to interview me, want to hear my thoughts. Some would say like, I like the insight that you share. It's very clear, it's very simple, I want to understand more. And after that, the company would reach out, would you like to we would like you to write the books with us. I
Great.
actually have 4 books going on right now in
Wow.
supply chain. Yes,
Wow.
but it's not finalized yet. But I need to think about it. But how did I find a passion of writing? I love
Yeah.
learning. I
Yes.
just love learning, and sometimes I could not find the answer for the question that I have. So when I want to learn something, I want to know the answer. So I search for it, and I
Yeah.
found it. And then people seem to enjoy hearing the insights as well. So that's how I get started. Do I know that I love writing? I don't know if I love writing. It's not easy, but I love exploring the new knowledge, the new area, the some area, when you have the a
Passion
curiosity
of that.
mind,
Yeah, the curiosity.
right?
Yes.
Your curious mind, you search for answer. Now that part is fun. You explore something that you don't know and try to find the answer, try to find insights. So did that answer your question?
Yes, yes, completely, Jit, of course. And I didn't know that you wrote like 4 books. That's a surprise to me, and really well done. You're taking your passion to another level. That's great. That's great to know.
Thank
So after this, it's great to know that you wrote these books, of course, and give us a copy anytime. We need to enlighten our knowledge and experience.
Absolutely. Would be my pleasure. Thank you.
So, Jit, you moved also during the pandemic, and you really took a bold step and starting the supply chain advisor. I know you started the supply chain advisor during the pandemic, and it's now moving well. I see you have like around 1,000 followers on LinkedIn. And tell us about this decision and how did you get to start this kind of consultancy business?
Right. So consultancy is certainly not new for me. I have been doing consulting for a long time. I actually got started my career in consulting.
Yeah.
Really, I was that was years ago. I was teaching engineering department, and one lady she walked into the department, and I had no idea that she was a business owner. So she carried
Oh,
her puppy, and she asked lots of questions, and nobody helped her. And I was the one that tried to help her get the answer that she
yeah.
needs. And a week later, she approached the university and the department, said that I want that lady. I want her to be my consulting for my business. So that's the rest is just history. But back then, I didn't know of the business strategy, how to develop the sales team that has the engineering um, knowledge
Yeah.
into the team. So I help her with that. And for doing the supply chain management consulting, I have been doing it for a while. And a lot of people lost their job. And sometimes you
Yeah.
just, I have some of the friends that, have a lot of degree in supply chain management, could not find a job. And a lot of people, those kind of thing, it just make me like, I really want to create business. I really want to be the one that be able to help other people as well. So that's how I get started. And when you love, right, you're passionate about it, and you see a lot of potential that you can help other organization or company or people gain the knowledge or the expertise, and be able to help them to execute a strategy that would increase the revenue and improve the morale. So that's how I get started, and how I get the 1,000 follower. I think that's just people are very kind to me, and they like the insights, and they also follow and give me the follow. The first time I remember the first time I got the first follow, I was so excited.
Yeah. Yes.
I was so excited. I sent a thank you message. I was like, you made my day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, it's just that the people that I think they see you who you are, and they feel connected with you, and you just be share whatever you feel like you add value for people, you help people, and it grow from there. So thank
Yes,
you.
yes, through you add value, and through your knowledge and experience, you start to find people happy and doing the same, and it's really good that you started this initiative and helping people. You found your friends like losing their jobs. Why not starting a consultancy business? And
Right.
yeah, I know how the feeling when you first find someone following you, and then it starts to grow.
Yeah, it's very
Uh,
exciting. It's more than anything else. I know it's just one person, but it means the world to me. Yeah.
Yes, of course, and it's really good, and I think the business is picking up now, and I wish you all the best in this business and in consultancy.
Thank you so much. You too. I see. I like the think big, and you have the bright idea, and all that. I wish you, much success and happiness. So it's awesome.
Thank you, Jit. Jit, of course, we cannot be with you without talking about the supply chain and what's happening lately, and all the great stuff that you know, and to gain from your knowledge in supply chain. Tess Neyman is sending her regards here. Yes, Tess, how are you? She's saying, I agree, simply share knowledge and you'll attract those that understand the language. We totally agree with Jit, and sending her our regards.
That is so true,
Yeah.
Tess. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So Jit in, for some time in Industry 4.0, and it's growing now, and it's like the technology, of course. So if nobody knows about it, it's technology and what's happening, and the change that technology will bring to supply chain using like drones and AI and all that. What do you think about it, and how do you think it will be applied? Will it be only for the large businesses who can do this kind of investments, or we will see small and medium enterprise also be able to do and be part of the revolution of the Industry 4.0? And will people lose their jobs to technology, or there will be more and more job opportunities coming from it? What do you think?
Well, I think is it's the nature of the change. It's the nature of that we need to change, because change bring difficult transition, right? It's
Yes.
also force us to grow. It's also force us to do something that is not familiar. So I think it come to the mindset that you certainly want to be comfortable and not keep growing, or you want to see what can bring more from that change. Now, when it comes to technology industry, 4.0 certainly have impact, disrupt a lot of industries. And I just would like to encourage people to embrace it, because even though we don't know what the future will be, but at least we see the trend, and how it's going to move forward, right? How it's going to improve the cost. And I think most of the fear that people fear is people fear to lose their job to technology. And I think that it's true that technology would bring some new jobs coming in, but the skill and the knowledge of the worker or the staff is not there yet, and people are still struggling to put food on the table. Just keep the house, keep the roof over the head. Those kind of thing. It's so it's so stressful, and it is something that we need to hold hand and lift each other up, do whatever we could to help each other. I think the corporate themselves also need to step up to help their own people to develop themselves, because you cannot just expect them to teach themselves for the knowledge that you want to implement in the technology, right? So I think it comes down to people are very important in the business.
Yes.
So the new skill set is also important as well. Now, I like to encourage people to see what the future can bring instead of fearing it. I mean, time will not wait for us, right? It will not wait for us to step up and hey, we gotta go now. But it's certainly mindset that we can shift. We can bring in the change. We can embrace it and see the fun, see the joy, or the challenges that come with it. So I like to encourage people to think, to compare between if you don't change, what the cost you are going to pay. Because if you don't change, you can see from the history what happened to the business that doesn't change. Now, does that take away the job too? In some way it is, right? Because if the business cannot survive, the job will no longer exist either. So create something new and move forward from there. That's how I see it. And in the supply chain, it certainly will help in terms of digital transformation. We have a long way to go. And in terms of technology, I don't believe that it's just enterprise. I believe this is a new opportunity for a lot of startups and SMEs business to embrace it, because you can see from the new vendors that have emerging technologies, something that is exciting, and you cannot buy from the legacy system that is you cannot afford it when you
Yes.
become a small and medium sized business. But the emerging technology small and startup company that provide is very promising, and you can see potential. You just need to sit down and sit with your team, be honest with each other, talking about something that is true, and it might be difficult conversation, but that is the only way that you can bring your team together. You need to be transparent and talk down to the root. What is it that prevent you to moving forward with that vendor that have a promising solution, but yet you don't trust them yet? You should take the time to consider it, because the other risk of not changing or transform is more than we can imagine, right? So that's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Of course, if you don't be flexible to change, we've seen a lot of businesses lost totally their business, and we've seen businesses that were not online like during the pandemic and went totally out of business, and it's all depending on people. Like you're seeing, people have to collaborate and have to be willing to change and cooperate with each other to move forward in this era. I totally agree with you.
Yes.
If we go a little bit back about also, we did not talk about that, your volunteering, and I've seen you did a lot of volunteering in language as a language specialist, and you did volunteering in with Apex in teaching. Tell us, how did this shape your character and leadership traits?
Well, I have been volunteer throughout my life, and I think I was starting when I was a kid. So it not really start from volunteer in supply chain and all that, but I use the volunteer to be the opportunity for me to serve others. Because even though some people may know a lot already, but there are some people that still need some guidance, and they want someone to mentor them. And it's wonderful feeling to be able to help someone less struggle,
Yes.
right? When we were we're struggling, and we wish that someone tell us years ago. Maybe we can do a lot more, right? So when someone helped me, and I feel appreciated, and I feel like I want to help other feel the same way as well. So that's how I get started. And I certainly believe that volunteer would bring peace and joy in your life. And because you receive it through your heart, right, the blessing that you'll be able to help someone, less struggling, and see a smile on their face. And it started from there. Many years ago, I was saving, animals, and also helping,
Oh,
orphan children. And I was
great.
raising the fund, and try to support the orphan children at the border. And I know lots of suppliers back then, and they would donate, like clothes, like
Great.
toys, like Barbies and all that for me, so that I can bring it to the children. And then when it come the time to go, I said, hey, would you like to ride along? That way we can go, meet the children here and there, mentor them here and there. And
Great.
once they told me where's the place that I need to go, they said that, no, no, I'm not going. And no one told me that it's very far away. So I drove my truck, put my stuff in on the truck, and I go through the mountain all by myself. And it was very steep. It was very dangerous. And when I get there, it was like 8 hours driving. And people there was just like, you were so brave. So I learned then, brave is actually the fancy words for being stupid, for not knowing anything. But they were glad that I was safe and all that. So yeah, that's how I get started. And the feeling that, even though after years after that, the moment that you hand something for someone that is really in need, and you can see the gleam of happiness, sparkle their
Yeah.
eyes, and it's just impact you more than it's impact them, in my idea. So it's the true lasting joys, and that is something that I have always been doing. So that's the way that why I think that volunteering is certainly develop the leadership skill, because you give without expecting anything, even though you don't expecting any, but you know that you receive the blessing through your heart.
Yes.
So, and that is something that I have been doing, and Apex is also one of them. I was a member, and you have students would reach out to you, would you be my mentor here and there. So it's certainly, it's been a great journey. I encourage people to do it if you want to receive true lasting joy.
It's true. It's true. Once you start that, you start teaching, sharing your knowledge and experience. And maybe I started that through LinkedIn and getting people to ask me things and helping people. And also, I started to give more and give more time to charity. Maybe you started this a lot earlier than me, but I can understand because the feeling is really nice. And once you help people and they tell you that they are they are happy and they are blessed to know you and all that, you feel really like you own the whole world. I totally understand this feeling. Kim Araman here is joining us. Thank you, Kim, and giving before asking. So true, so true. Yes, I
Awesome,
totally
Kim.
agree with you. Awesome, awesome, Kim. Thank you for joining us. Jit, if we go back to supply chain, of course, and everybody was talking in 2020 about the resilience of supply chain, and we suddenly found this terminology taking over in 2020. Do you think still will be the same trend in 2021 and people still going for nearshoring, going for multiple sourcing, going for joint ecosystems and all this? What do you think about this trend? It will still be going because the pandemic is not over yet. What's your thoughts about supply chain resilience?
I think it will continue, because if you think about it, when someone set the trend, I mean, the pandemic certainly caught us off guard, right? It exposed a lot of risks that we have never known before or never seen before, in such a way that it put some business out of business right away. And
True.
they want to minimize that risk, and also want to to be resilient, how you're going to be able to respond and bounce back from disruption. You need to map your network. You need to have your supply chain blueprint, at least know how it's going to get there. Just to get a supply chain blueprint is it take time. It's not easy to. It's not like 1 month project. No, it will be a long time before we get there. I believe that business certainly would continue with supply chain resilience because they don't want to be disrupt again, and they don't
Yes.
want to lose the business. And some is different when we talk about toilet paper, right? Because it's not between life and death. But if they need to carry or transfer something that means life or death for some people, they cannot
Yeah.
they cannot get disrupt because it's mean life. So I certainly believe that it will continue, and I hope it continue. So
Yes.
and of course the increased cost in supply chain from
Yes.
the inventory, or multiple sourcing and all that. They certainly need to balance the trade-off, think carefully how you're gonna do that, even though they might want to source from other countries besides China. But it
Yes.
takes time before you can pick up the pace of advancement, right? And labor readiness. So it will
Yes.
take some time before they get there. So it will not happen overnight. But still, people, I believe that business would continue on this. What about you? You think the same way too?
I think, yeah, it will still continue, especially that we're distributing the for the virus, all the cure for the virus everywhere in the world. So this is still, it's going to be continue. All the trend will still go in 2021, and especially that people are trying through collaborations to reduce some costs, and they will depend still on 3PL logistics and all that. I totally agree with you about that.
That's great.
So, Jit, of course, it was great to have you today. I always end with questions and your questions from you to me. And please, any questions that you have, I know you have a lot of questions, but try to make it easy, not hard on me.
No, I mean, we need to make it hard for you. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure, sure.
So, yeah, I think I would love to hear, how did you get into a supply chain? How did you get started? I know you have
Yeah.
different background as well, and
Yes.
you fall
Yes.
in love with the supply chain as well. We just want to hear your story. How did you get there?
Yeah, well, I started in marketing first. I graduated from business administration. My first passion was in marketing, more about studying about the products, like positioning the product, pricing the product, getting the product on shelf and the right price, and making sure that getting in the consumer mind, how the consumer thinks, what do they want to buy, and going into marketing research and retail audits, study about market share statistics, how to win market share, and how to be available everywhere, and through numeric and weighted distribution. This was my first passion, and I would go to distributors and do presentations on that, and try to convince the distributor through their journey plan to take to go to this supermarket, and go to this grocery, and go to this area. This area have a lot of players, and we're not present there. And this is how I started my passion. But then, because I worked a long time in one organization, they told me you have a lot of knowledge about the products and about how we sell, about everything. There is something called sales and operations planning, and I learned about it like 10 years ago or something. We want you to own this project, and it's all about balancing supply and demand. And you know now how we produce everything. You have knowledge about all the SKUs. So let's start this journey, and so it will be all about how we forecast You will compare how the sales actual versus the what we forecasted, and we'll try to put forecasts. We'll try to get finance, sales, marketing, and the top management together in one table and get a consensus forecast, get one plan. So it was all exciting to me to learn everything about the business by starting this journey of sales and operation planning. Then I started. I had good relation with the supply chain director. I learned about warehousing, about the logistics, about material planning, procurement, some procurement, when to buy and how to buy, and all this stuff, and all the KPIs. And I went to Apex and I took the CPIM. I took also an MBA during that time. So this is like part of my story and how I fell in love with supply chain. I moved from marketing to supply chain.
That's awesome. You pretty much grow from the demand side and come to
Yes,
the
yes,
supply and try to
exactly, exactly. It was all about demand. I like demand, and marketing. It's all about demand and how to create demand. Then it
right,
coupled with the supply, because in marketing, we dream. The dream is big, and we always make problems for people in supply chain. Tell them we need this right now, and I didn't understand even the terms of lead time, anything.
right,
I thought like whatever I ask, it will come in 1 minute or one day, but really takes a lot of effort. And the team of the supply chain, when I worked with them, they do a lot of effort, and they have against a lot of variables, especially if you're working with spreadsheets. You're not working still with an ERP, and I worked through all that, going from spreadsheets to ERP to like starting to work on systems, better systems like the Mantra or anything on SAP. And so I took some part of the journey, and it really helped me a lot to learn a lot. So if you work with, I think, with less technology or something, it's of course technology is a blessing and it saves time. But if you work with less technology, you get to know everything about the business, because you go through a lot of problems that
right,
needs time to be solved, and needs to think how you can solve these problems.
right. I agree with you on that. And even though there's more advanced technology come to help
Exactly.
in the supply chain,
Yes. Yes.
and a lot of business are still cannot harness that all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
features. So
Yes.
what I say is I always say that you also need visibility into your technology as
Yes.
well. So,
Of course, a lot of businesses, and because also I'm starting to work of consultancy like you. I see a lot of people, they are afraid to take the step of investing in technology, and
right,
they're so afraid of the initial investment, and they think about it like when this will give us a return on investment.
right,
Come on, guys, the visibility now is everything. You have to be visible. You have to have a knowledge about where is your shipment and when exactly it will arrive. And it's
right,
all about customer service. You need excellence in customer service, or you lose market share. We've
right,
seen how companies grew during this pandemic. Amazon have become like a giant through customer service, great customer service, excellence in customer service and the customer experience.
right. That's awesome. That's pretty journey. So I have a question.
Yeah,
I need to hear this.
please,
Um,
please.
I want to hear a joke, something fun that you find that is funny. So joke either in supply chain or something to share with us, to share with the audience, and myself.
Uh,
Is it too
Joe.
hard?
No, it's not hard. Of course, when you're working, you get to face a lot of funny situations, and it happens. Of course, you share jokes together, and some hard times, and when you sometimes, yeah. If I shared with you, I think one time I did all this show and it did not go on air, for example. Yeah, and I did the show, and it was like from one of my first shows, and all the preparation, and it was really a big guest, and it didn't go online. So it was
What
sometimes
the?
it's really hard, but thanks God I managed again to get the same guest, and we did it again, and
Right,
it was a success. So It was really hard, but you have to take it slowly and breathe and meditate, and things will go your way.
Yeah, now you're the bro, so you're
Yes.
natural. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Jit, and it was really great having you today. And I wish you all the best in 2021. Just before we go, tell us what are your wishes in 2021 for all the people who are watching us, and what are your plans in 2021 for supply chain advisor, and through all your life. What is the plans and goals in 2021 for you?
Right. So, first of all, I would like to encourage everyone to think about the future, then how we gonna get through this together, and make sure you stay safe and don't lose hope. I mean, human is very flexibility, right? We are pretty strong, been through a lots of hard time and a lots of bad time, but I believe in human and in people. I have faith in the new generation, or the wisdom of the older generation as well. It is the good mix, and I would like to encourage you to think beyond just the difficult time. And during this time, just try to help each other and keep yourself sane, and try to use your time to do something that is more productive. Get you out of bed, get dressed,
Yes.
go for a walk, doing the exercise, using this time for something that is healthy, and healthy for your body and for your mind as well. For the plan for 2021 for supply chain advisor, we certainly would like to help more people, help more business to be able to gain the strategy and execute the strategy to see the result, save time, how to have more well coordinated and optimized supply chain and all of that. And thank you for having me today. And if I can
Yes.
help answer any question, let me know. If I can help you anything,
Yeah,
thank you
it's
so much.
it's it's my pleasure, of course. And if any questions, we get any questions after the show, of course, we will answer it, me and you, and we're here to help more and more people. I agree with you. I hope 2021 will be the best for everybody, and we have the opportunity to learn online. There is a lot of now free websites that you can learn from, and you can invest on your time and upskill yourself during 2021 till things come stable again, and we'll be able to go back to normal hopefully soon.
That's true. Stay safe and keep
Thank you
warm.
so
It's freezing
much.
here.
Yeah, I've
Thank you
seen
so
that,
much.
and you keep warm. We're totally here. We don't have like all the snow and all, but yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Jit. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for everyone who tuned in, and take care. See you soon. Bye, Jit.
Yes.
Bye.
It's
Bye,
my
everybody.
pleasure. Thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.